In this video, we show you how to work with SQL in Data Studio. After you start IBM Data Studio, go to the database that you want to work with. So in this case, let's go to the sample database. Before you do that, you can click on Properties and click on Driver Properties and verify that your settings are correct. So we are going to connect to the sample database. In this case, it says localhost. Data Studio and my DB2 server are on the same computer. Use port 50000 and then I put my user ID and password and I ensure that I check mark here under save password so I don't have to type it again. Click on test connection to verify that you can connect to the database. And if you get a message that says ping succeeded, then everything is okay. So then click off and then right click and connect. Once we are connected, let's switch to the data perspective. If you don't see the data perspective, here click on this button. To open the perspective, so I click here. Here I have my data perspective. But in case you don't have it here, you can also click on other. And look for data and then click OK. Now that you can see the data perspective, you should have showing the data project explorer. From here we are going to create a project, so click on File, New, Data Development Project. And then just leave the defaults, so I'm just going to call this project 1. Click Next. I want this project to work with sample database, so I click on sample and then on finish. Okay, so now I have my project. I drill down. And I want to work with SQL, so I select SQL scripts. I right click, choose new SQL or jQuery script and I click. Now we have to give a name to the script. I'm just going to keep the name of script 1. You could create a SQL just by choosing the first option, but I'm first going to show you the second option, which is to use the jQuery builder. So with the query builder, you can specify what type of statement you want to create. For example, I have this option: select, insert, update, delete, and full select. Let me choose select and then click on finish, so a new tab will appear. And as you can see at the top, and depending on the things you do here on the lower part of the panel, things will start building up into this template. So for example, let's right click and choose add table. And we're going to pick the outgoing schema and within that schema. we're going to look for the employee table, so I click OK. Now I'm going to select some columns that I'm going to have in my select statement. So for example, I click on emp number and you see it appears here. First name, last name, scroll down and I get the education level and the salary. Now I would also like to choose another table, so I right click and add table. From my ARPGong schema, and this time it's going to be the department table, so I choose department and I click OK from the department I want to get. The department name, that name. Now since I have two tables, I need to join them. So I'm going to choose a condition here. I'm going to choose a column. For the join, so I'm going to choose the employee work depth. And we are going to choose the operator. Which is any of this, but for the join, we need this equals operator. Then we are going to join these two department columns, which will be the depth. No, so I select that, and as you can see, here my SQL statement has been built. A select employee, emp number, employee, first name, and so on. And for the department, the column that will be displayed is the column that them name. From employee, department, where these two columns, employee, work depth equals department depth. No. So I'm performing the join operation there. Then I can also do another condition here, so I can click on end. So we're going to look for things where the education level which is here at level is less than, let's put a value like 18. Now we can see at the top these other conditions and employee level less than 18. So now we have our SQL built, and all we need to do is run it. And of course, here you can also see the relationship between these two tables based on work depth and depth. No. So I right click and I choose run SQL, and we see that is execute successfully. We can double click here on SQL results to maximize the window. As you can see, we are selecting all of these columns where dep name came from a department table, while the other columns came from the employee table. We selected anything that has an education level that was less than 18. So this query successfully reports what I wanted. Let me double click here on SQL results again and I get a restore to the previous view. Now I'm going to close this tab or this SQL statement and I'm going to save it.